Let's start the podcast.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Two owls, one pod. We're the spinoff of the Two Dicks web series on YouTube. Check it out, the Two Dicks. I'm Al Romas. I'm on the Wonder of the Seas, one of my rare other cruises this year. Wonder of the Seas, we're docked in St. Thomas. That's Al Ducharme. He is on MSC. I don't know the name of the ship, and I don't know where he is. Let's check in right now. How are you, Alfredo?
Just dandy, man. I don't know how to pronounce the ship that I'm on. I don't know how to pronounce the floors. It's all in Italian, and I have the American way of pronouncing things. Meraviglia, but you don't pronounce the G. It's silent, so it's Meraviglia. Is how
Yeah, they should
Italians.
change that if they're going to be sailing out of New York or Miami. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
Holland
they-
America with those. The dam. It's
Yeah,
like, come on.
yeah.
You're in
I'm,
Fort Lauderdale.
I'm
Let's
working the goddamn for Holland
Yeah.
America.
go. I like that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they have four ships now, and they do have like the Seascape. That's pretty easy. That makes sense.
Got
But
it.
they have two more ships coming in now.
Oh,
So
adding to the
starting in
fleet of
2025.
MSC. And do you like? I mean, it's Italian food. How's the food? It must be good. Italian food, I imagine. Some good food there. No,
It's
maybe not.
you know how it is. It's ship to ship.
It varies.
One ship is better than the other. It's different
Right.
than what I'm accustomed to on the other ships. So both positive and negative, certain things you get, but you find your way, and then you find out what you like and what you don't like, where to go.
Are you
I
sailing right now? Are you at
no,
sea?
no, we're at Ocean Cay, the private resort in the Bahamas,
Oh.
which is in
Perfect day at Ocean Cay. Bimini.
Bimini. I can never pronounce it. Bimini. Bim. It's Bim. B-I-M, right?
Bimini. Bimini.
Bimini.
Yeah,
That's
like
where I am.
bikini with an M.
Oh, that's all. That's okay.
There
That
you
makes
go.
it easier.
There you go.
Bimini.
Bimini. Hey, look at that.
It's actually a beautiful resort. Have you seen it?
Bimini.
Yeah.
I think I've been, yeah, but I don't remember it. They're
I
all,
think I
they
think
all
I
become
think
one island.
yeah, I think Princess and or Norwegian used to come here. Or
Mm,
even I think Celebrity came here once.
yeah.
But now I think it's all exclusively for this line here. And it's beautiful. They get the lighthouse. It's
Yeah.
quite nice. They
Cool.
sock some money into it. Yeah.
Cool, man. Now you're sailing to Tampa. Or are you? Where?
Nope.
No, you're not sailing to
No.
Tampa. I'm confused by your travels. You've been out for
Yeah.
weeks and weeks and weeks.
We were in Nassau yesterday.
Yes, okay.
The day before we were in Cape Canaveral. So we went from Brooklyn, where we started,
Ooh,
down
this is
to
what an exotic
CA,
cruise.
yeah, in Cape Canaveral.
Wow.
And then, well,
Nassau and Cape
hey, if you're
Canaveral in
living
one
in Queens,
cruise?
Brooklyn,
I guess.
or New
Yeah.
Jersey, this is quite the trip.
I guess.
In November,
Yeah.
come
Did you
down
get
where
off the ship in Nassau?
I did.
Did you
I
see the new
did.
terminal? Have you seen it? You probably have seen it before.
I've seen
but
it multiple times. Yeah. They did a
yeah,
great job, man. They needed it. It was long
it's the
overdue.
nicest thing in Nassau. They actually put it. It is. It's the nicest thing. When I was on the ship Adventure during COVID, when I did 5 months, we were docked out of Nassau, and I saw that being built. It went from I saw them knock down the old one
Hmm.
and start, and I thought, well, they're never going to finish this. You know the way these
Sure.
Nassau Bahamians work, and it was going slow. It was
Mm.
It was like every other week there were two bricks on top, then another week another brick, and then came back a year later. Things beautiful. They did a great job.
Yeah, it did actually take a little longer because they had
Yeah,
supply line issues. But you know what they
yeah.
did?
Mm.
And this is not a knock against our local people of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
They brought in some Chinese companies So
Oh,
I think they had to like,
oh, they're good workers.
they probably had to hire
Oh,
20%
yes,
locals and then
yes,
80% of the Chinese and
right.
exploited them working 16 to
Yeah,
18-hour
that's
days.
right. Well, it's
But it
better
was
than
the
the
only
old
way to
days
get
in the West.
otherwise the 2-year project, 2.5-year project is going to take 6 years. And
Yeah.
that's just the way it is.
Remember in the old West, the Chinese built the railroads,
They
and
sure did.
if they got tired, they got shot.
Yep.
Yeah. And
They get
then there's a
shot.
great line in Unforgiven when Richard Harris is shooting and he's shooting at things, and Gene Hackman goes, "What's the matter, Bill? Get tired of shooting Chinese?" That was the
Ah,
day. I mean, that's how it
yeah,
was back in the day. They had a tough life, man. Think
they
about
sure
it.
did. They
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah.
Hard working group of people, though, I will say that.
Well, hell yeah, man. Look what you call for Chinese food anytime, any day. Just call and they go, okay,
7 minutes
5 minutes.
later.
There's a knock on the
Seven
door.
minutes on.
You hang up the phone, there's a knock on the door. It's like, holy shit, you guys are good.
Well, we're also
Eh,
fortune tellers, so
those
yeah,
fuckers work.
we knew what you were going to order.
Oh, that's right.
Um, yeah, so yeah, it's interesting how
mm,
the difference between different parts of the world and different cultures, because it really is that laid back kind of feeling throughout the Caribbean. Yeah, man, don't worry, man.
yeah. But
It,
they do
it-
work hard. Those guys, it's
oh
funny
yeah.
how the Jamaican and Caribbean guys all have that stone kind of, no problem, man. But they really bust their ass. I mean, when they're working, you see the waiters, the bartenders, the shopkeeper, whatever. I was in St. Martin yesterday, and I did that walk. From that's a good walk. That all the way into town and down
Hmm.
through town. It's a good 3 miles round trip.
Yeah, I love that walk.
And there's a La Casa del Habano, brand new one, St. Martin. Air conditioning, leather chairs, beautiful.
How
And the
far from
guy was so
Juggies?
cool because I don't know if you go in these places in the Carib, but when you
Hmm.
walk in the humidor, that's like I don't want to talk about it. But this guy, but there's always that high pressure on the in the humidor because they go, what are you looking for? And then you tell them, and then they go here. They pick up a Series D, and it's $300. I'm like, no, no, no. But this guy was cool. I go, do you have any hand rolled with maybe Cuban seed, Cuban leaf? And he goes, of course. And he took me right over there, and I bought two of them, and then he's like, would you like to sit and to have one? I said, of course, yes. And it was just so relaxed and nice. Where usually those places it's high pressure, and they want you to buy a box for $8,000. And
Yeah, it's a hard
this guy was great. He
upsell.
was very cool. So
Yeah, I hate the hard upsell,
yeah,
and
yeah, which I
it
hate.
turns me off.
Well, like John Consoli would always say when the guy's in the humidor with us, and the guy's like, "What do you need? What are you looking for?" And John would be like, we're good, thank you." And the guy goes, but then John would just go, "Hey, man, I'm a kid in a candy store here. Just kind of leave me
Yeah,
alone." You know
walk.
what I mean? Kid in a
Well,
candy store.
well,
Just I don't
what
need you,
about yeah? What about in some places they follow you because they think you're going to steal? Because
San Juan.
yeah, there you go.
Got to take. You can't bring your backpack in. I go, my passport's in my backpack. And they go, we got to leave it outside. I go, I'm not comfortable leaving that out there. So I take the passport out, put it in my pocket. I'm not going to steal from you. I'm not going to,
I had like a
come on.
19-year-old follow me like a shadow. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like,
No, not cool. Not cool. But, because it was 95 yesterday in St. Martin, it was really warm.
oh really?
So
That
when I
one,
got,
yeah.
oh yeah, it was brutal. So when I got there, I just saw it and I was like, holy shit, I opened the door. That air, oh, that air hit you. It's a
Ding
beautiful
ding
thing.
ding 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 ding.
I don't know what that means.
I'm doing
For our
hard nipples.
Patreon. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah,
That was that. Okay. My hard
I'm using my index fingers to
as hard
res
nipples.
yeah, and there's look at them. They have
They go in weird
they're
directions. I don't
like
know
they're
why
like
they'd be
crab
moving.
eyes.
Do
They're
they
like
move? If your nipples are moving around, sir, you
no.
got some issues
I get
going on. You
excited.
might
You're
want to.
talking about the
Yeah, you're
cigar place, the
talking,
air
but
conditioning, 95 degrees. Come on.
yeah, we're gonna hit a few cigar joints next week.
Oh yeah.
Alfredo's gonna be in town.
I'm a little rusty, man. I haven't
Yeah,
been smoking much lately, so but I'm looking forward to it.
it's gonna be good. Yeah. Well, we'll go to Cathedral. You've been there. We'll maybe try to do a little
Hmm.
pod there.
Hmm.
and Fusion in Clearwater, and then of course Corona, the old Davidoff.
Not the virus.
Corona. Yeah, no one. You notice that kind of dropped. It was Corona, and then everyone just went with COVID.
Hmm.
They dropped Corona. Maybe the Corona beer
They
people
dropped the
really
19. It was
had
COVID
lobbyists.
19.
Yeah, and they dropped the 19. You're right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Was there a 1 through 18 COVID? Do we know?
I'm guessing.
All right. That's like Jimmy Pardo's joke where he didn't go see Malcolm X because he didn't see the first 9. All
Jimmy
right.
Pardo was a guest on our program here.
He was. He was a great guest. We should have him back on.
Yes.
He's entertaining. He's always entertaining as hell. And he shit on Al for Al's singing. He was singing a Kiss song, I think.
It was at the time we were called the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, and I had to remind you both that it was a comedy podcast because you guys are getting really serious about the
Talking about
music.
music.
Yeah, man. But
Talking about
so be
music.
it, man. So be it.
Yeah. Hey, I was in an elevator yesterday, and this guy, old guy, comes in, and he goes, "Hey, Ted," pointing at me. He goes, "I liked your comedy." I go, "Oh, thank you." I go, "Al." He goes, "Ted." I go, "Well, it's Al." He goes, "Ah, all right, Ted. I'm going to see you tonight. I'm going to come back again." I'm like, it's Al, but okay, So then that evening, Simeon goes, "I had this weird old guy try to sit next to me at lunch, and he kept calling him Simo-I." He goes, "Hey, Simo-I, can I sit here?" And Simeon's like, "What?" It's the same guy. So he goes, Simeon had a brilliant thing. He goes, "No," he goes, "I'm sorry, you can't because the COVID regulations, they're still around for us. We're not allowed to sit next to anyone. We have to keep a space of at least 6 feet." And he goes, "Oh, even with Ted?" And Simeon goes, "Yeah." And then Simeon has no idea what he's talking about at that moment. So he just goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Anyone can't sit next to." He goes, "Oh, you can't even sit next to Ted?" And Simeon's like, "No, I can't sit next to Ted." And then he's telling me that story, and I go, "I'm Ted." And backstage, I go, "I'm Ted." He goes, "How are you, Ted?" I go, "I don't know. That's who I am, though. I'm Ted." In this whole, he didn't know he was talking about me. This guy is a fucking mental patient, man, with
Well, I have
Ted
a
and
question.
Simo-I. Yeah.
Do you do a joke about your dog, Teddy, on stage?
Not really. And I don't mention his name.
All right, so this guy's a wackadoo.
He's a
All
complete
right, I just
nut.
want to
Yeah.
click because that's where I was going. I'm like, he did a bit about his
Oh
dog
no.
Teddy, and he's calling you
No, nope,
Teddy
no
and his
Ted
brain.
mentioned at all anywhere in the act. This guy's just a nut job. But I like the idea of that where you go, "Hey, COVID stuff, we can't sit near you, can't sit next to anyone because we're entertainers and that's part of the rule." So, and the guy was like, "Okay." And he walked away. But can you imagine these people are nuts, man? You don't know him. I'm just gonna sit now and have lunch. Like, who are you? And maybe I'd like to be alone. Maybe I have something to do. Maybe something's in my head that I need to get out. And who are you to just sit and have lunch with me? It's
Well,
very
Bernie,
strange.
Bernadette, she ran into something a couple of months ago, elevator situation. The guy he goes, "Hey, Bernie, Bernadette." She goes, "Hi." He goes, "It's me, Steve." And she's like, "Steve?" She goes, "Yeah, Steve. Remember me?" And then there's other people who were on the elevator, and she goes, "Oh, you're the comedian. We enjoyed your show." Blah 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 blah. And she goes, "Oh," she's just like, "Oh, this guy. I don't know who he is." He was just trying to ingratiate himself. He making her think that they had a past or history. That's
Mm.
serial killer tactics. That's fucked up.
Is
She
it?
has never seen him before. He came to her show, obviously,
Right.
and he's doing the old,
Well, I don't know if it's
like I
serial killer
know.
tactics.
No, 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 no. It went on more than that, but she
Oh,
was like, it really kind of like creeped me out a little bit because he kept seeing me, and like, I go, he could have been attracted to you. I go,
right.
but it's kind of a weird thing to do, you know? It's just,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of weird I mean, I would never do it. I don't know. So you wouldn't do it, but people are bizarre and you're living amongst 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people. So these odd behaviors that you don't run into in your normal day at home or something are exaggerated here.
I
And
have to
we're
say,
going to
yeah,
meet them.
yeah, and I have to say this because I get the
You have
private
to.
messages, direct messages
Yeah.
of people that came to your show,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, we came to your show 3 months ago,
Hmm.
and we were the ones that you were making fun of because my
Right.
husband did it." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I go, "Oh, sounds like we had a good time." I go, "You don't remember us? We talked to you after the show." I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Fuck
go,
off.
I've had 100 shows since then.
Oh, you engage with these folks? Do
Well,
you
I'm just
engage
saying,
with them
I
or?
just say that I've had 100 shows. I go, it's a
Yeah.
couple of thousand people. I go, but it's kind of rings a bell.
Yeah.
Thanks for reaching out. And
Yeah.
that's it. But some of them keep coming back
Well,
with
that's it.
messages.
Yeah.
And then you got to cut them off.
Yeah. You got to be nice. And it's nice of them to write and that's all that. But then it gets weird. And if it starts to get weird, then I go, gone.
Yeah.
But generally most people, I mean, think of all the people we are in front of and meet and see over the years, and most of them, 95%, 6% are
Absolutely.
fucking nice.
And I like to give
Really
everybody
nice.
a
But
benefit of the
there's always
doubt.
a
That's
couple of
why,
weirdos, and
yeah. That's
so
why I
uh,
engage a little
I'm
bit.
Ted from now on.
Ted.
My name will be Ted from now on.
Mary Lou. Ted.
Oh,
Come
Ted,
on,
I was
Ted.
I was counting it. I've done 35 shows in 18 days.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine a headliner on the ships. They do 2 shows a week. It would take them how many months to do 35 shows? You know what I mean? And they're like do 2 shows a week, and they'll be like, 2 days later, going, I'm exhausted. You go, what? You do what? Really? Okay, okay. But
Sometimes you
but
can get
you'll have been
tired
up
by
there.
what's that?
What's that? No, you said sometimes you can get tired.
You can get tired from sitting around, not performing. A different
No,
kind of tired.
different kind of tired. Yeah. But how
It's
many
because
shows will you have knocked out when you think when
six,
this whole run?
two
No, this
weeks,
whole
12,
run.
12.
No, the whole run of being out before you get home.
Oh, I'd have to calculate that
Have you
very
done any
quickly.
comedy club ships during
Yes,
this? Oh,
yes.
okay. So there's 13 plus 6
I've done
plus
a couple of
whatever.
weeks. That's 26. And then 12,
Mm-hmm.
46, 46,
Oh, Jesus
47.
Christ.
It's over 50.
Wow. That's what I always laugh with these pages with the comedians, and they go, I did 3 shows this weekend. I'm exhausted. Hashtag grinding. You're like, really? Really? Okay.
New York, we would do that 3 on a Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, tomorrow night. Now this will air Monday, so it'll be over. But tomorrow night is the Tyson Paul fight. Did we have a bet on this? Because it was postponed. Did we have a bet on this,
We
or
did.
I don't? What was the bet? Do you remember?
I think I went with Tyson for a cigar,
Oh,
but
I
I
thought I
said
went
not
with.
an Atabay.
I thought I went with Tyson. Hmm. Interesting. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember now, to be
Did
honest.
we? Is it in our
It's in the
message?
archives
Is it in
somewhere.
messaging?
Could be, but we have got
You
a
know, you
lot of
can do a
messages in
search. There's a
between.
little hourglass, and if you hit the right words,
Oh,
Tyson, it might come up.
okay.
But that was
Take a
months
look
ago
later.
because
That was months
Mike
ago.
had
Yeah.
a hernia or an ulcer. Do you remember?
He had an ulcer. Yeah. He was shitting blood, as he said on a
He's
pod that I have.
50. He's 58 or 59.
He's 58, but he looks tremendous.
Oh,
I feel like the fix is always in on these things. I just think it'll be a draw. It's going to go the length and it'll be a draw.
I just watched his fight when he was 19 against Mitch Green. It
Oh,
went
yeah.
the distance, 10
Yeah.
rounds, and Tyson won by decision. But I'm so used to just seeing him fight 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
forgot.
don't think
Yeah,
these are only 2 minute rounds, and there's, I think, 10, or no, 8. I think he's doing 8 rounds of 2 minutes.
instead of 3 minutes.
Yeah. But he's 58. I mean, if he goes past 3 or 4 rounds, you're going to figure, I mean, he's going to be tired, but also Jake Paul was saying how, he's going to tire him out. So he's going to run around the ring.
Right.
But
He towers over Jake. Paul towers over him, and so did Mitch Green. How
Yeah,
tall is
Tyson's
Tyson?
short. He's five
He's
seven.
right. That's what I'm saying. But he's just
Yeah,
wide. He's just a
yeah.
wide guy, and he has that back,
I
and
just don't imagine him.
He still has that same back. It's just this
Yeah, I just don't
V of
imagine him
muscle.
losing to Jake Paul with his history and his fighting career. I could see it just being, a draw, and then they both maybe a rematch in a year or something.
I would say Tyson physically, even if he's 58, 59, he's probably 38, 39 physically.
Hmm.
But uh, Jay Paul is what? 29? Is he
And he's in his 20s. I don't know what the
28?
exact age. I mean, if Tyson catches him with one, he's down. I
Yeah,
mean, that's all you got to do. If he does, he still has that power.
right.
But if he runs around and avoids him, and tires Mike out, and then
And
you know,
he does have the height, so he's got to do an uppercut, which Tyson
yeah,
can do if he's inside.
right, right.
But if he
So
keeps
what
him he's got the long arm. If he can keep Tyson away and tire him out, that's the fighting style, right?
you think Mike wins? Because this will be airing Monday. It'll be over, so we're going to sound dumb
Well,
or smart.
a few months ago,
Hmm.
before the ulcer and before the 4 months, 6 months that went by, I was Tyson,
Hmm.
but now I'm not sure. So
Hmm. Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
either. I'm not either. Um,
So
so I don't know.
you're saying draw.
I think a draw because I just don't really believe anymore in a lot of those kind of things. There's so much money being bet on this thing. Vegas said it's been the highest bet fights in history, and I just feel like the fix is sort of in. Not a fix. It's a fix. Yeah, they both agree to it.
Mike Tyson does not have nearly the wealth that he once had. Does he need this money at his age, 58, 59 years old, to sail off into the sunset to maintain his lifestyle? How does he generate money now besides this fight?
I think he does. I mean, talk about lifestyles and stuff. Yeah, yeah, I think he does, and I think he wanted to get back in the limelight a little bit and
He's
have a
had
fight.
he has a podcast, so he's making money there.
Oh yeah, he's
He,
he's
he
fine
he's a major
realistically.
celebrity, so he gets comped,
Yeah,
rooms, limos.
realistically, but it's like but yeah, he needs to live a lifestyle. But did you hear Whoopi Goldberg yesterday saying how she understands how people are struggling and she's working class and that
Whoopi
people are
Goldberg
like,
has been
go
wealthy
fuck
since her
yourself. You have no
20s.
idea.
She's
She's
when
worth 45 mil,
yeah,
but
her I'm surprised it's
she
that low.
understands,
I'm
how it
surprised it's
is
that
out
low.
there.
She has been famous and wealthy since she was in her 20s. She did her one woman show.
Yeah,
What was it, off Broadway, went to Broadway. She
yeah,
went right into films,
yeah,
limousines, private jets, real estate
yeah.
portfolio. She
Did you
is
ever see that one woman show?
far removed from the struggles.
All right. So I get off this thing Sunday in Canaveral, driving to Tampa, and then you arrive in Tampa, flying from where? Where are you coming in from?
LaGuardia Airport in Queens. The ship will be docking in Brooklyn, and I'll take
Mm,
a 20 to 25-minute taxi, which could
mm,
easily turn into an hour.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have an 11 a.m. flight, so I have to be one of the first ones off this ship, and we have 4,700 passengers.
Mm,
So, and it's a madhouse. So I'm going to try to prearrange an escort
yeah.
to move me to the front.
Ooh, an escort. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you meant, oh, I see. I thought you meant like a, you know,
Like a lady
escort,
boy.
like a lady boy. That's a tight 11 a.m. That's tight. I don't know why they'd give you an 11 a.m. That's good luck to you. I hope
Well,
to
I
see
mean,
you in Tampa on time, but
if I get
that's
off the ship at 7:15, 7:30, I'm
it's
at the
still
airport at 8, 8:30.
through security
I have
nine
clear,
on
I have
the
TSA
9:30 and
pre-check.
yeah,
It's
mm,
tight.
yeah. No, it's It's tight though. It's tight. 11 in New York, like in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, it's easy. But New York is a wild card. You never know. But so
Well,
if you do, you'll arrive around 1 o'clock or so. Is that your flight schedule? Around 11. I
I
mean,
think
around 1 o'clock
one.
ish.
Yeah.
Well, if you leave at 11, yeah,
One.
you'll be in Tampa around 1:15.
Yep. I think that's about accurate.
Mm-hmm.
125. Land, get my luggage. I'll be out of there by 150 if everything's on time. But we have yet another hurricane to deal with. You were telling me there's one.
Sarah's smile. Was that a song? Hall and
Won't you
Oates.
smile a while
Yeah,
for me,
she's
Sarah?
Sarah's smile. Yeah, it looks as of today, we're recording on Thursday morning. Yeah, it's hitting the Carib, the Western Carib. Cozumel's looking like it's going to get smacked again. And they have two paths: Florida Straits or Tampa Bay. So
We're hoping for Florida
Thursday could be a
Straits.
bit of a mess. We're hoping for Florida Straits, and but you have an early flight Thursday, so you may be like one of those flights where it's okay because you know what I mean they close it at 10 o'clock or noon. I think you said you have a early one, don't you? Am I wrong on that, or am I correct?
I believe it's 11 a.m. Should I pull it up?
No, yeah. Because
Should
remember, I remember being early because I said I'll give you a ride, and you were like, no, I'll Uber. It's too early. So I don't know why that's in my cranium as being an early flight, but I have a couple of things to do that day, to get ready because we're hitting the road Friday. Kelly and I and Teddy are hitting the road. We're going to Michigan.
Do you want me to get a
Yeah.
hotel Thursday to give you
No.
guys space to
No,
prepare?
you're going home Thursday.
I'm flying to St. Croix.
No, but I mean you're leaving us Thursday.
Correct. Is
Yeah.
it Thursday or is it Friday morning?
You said Thursday.
Well, let me pull it up.
Better not be Friday. Jesus Christ, what are you moving in? For God's sake. Well, for this guy, a fucking night. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wait a
saying?
minute. Thursday, the 21st, I'm flying to Antigua.
Well, I'm glad you looked. You would have been on 11
Uh,
a.m. to St. Croix. Been like, what the fuck?
let's see this. Oh yeah, okay.
Antigua.
I
Yuck.
have an 8 a.m. flight. Uber.
Right. No, I'll take you because I have an 8 a.m. appointment. So I can drop you off at 6:30 or 6:15 ish and then
What
get
appointment
a
do you have? You
coffee
getting
and
your
head to my
ass
thing.
checked? You getting the fingers?
Yeah. Fingers. I think it's one finger, sir.
My guy
think
goes, he's thorough. He
Oh.
goes 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
I told my wife, I said,
That's
Dr.
my
Karashi,
scotch, not my ass. I like 2
Yes.
fingers. You know what I'm saying?
my doctor, Dr. Karashi, has stuck his finger in my ass 13 times.
What?
He's been my
What?
doctor for 2
13
years
years?
now.
Oh. Look what he did there.
No, 13
All right.
years. So
Yeah.
and my wife
You've had the same doctor for
and
13
my wife has
years?
stuck her finger in my butt maybe once.
Do you like that? Do you
No.
enjoy that?
No, I don't care for
Stay
it.
out of there. Stay out of there.
Yeah, and one time her
Yes.
ring was on and it got lost, and we had to, bring in a pro, a jeweler came in, and he had.
Oh, they meant a hooker, a pro.
Yeah, no, because he had the eye optical magnifier and he had the right tools
Yeah.
to get it out.
No, you had that done. Like
That's
I've
not
had
clip worthy, is it?
no, but I don't like I don't like when someone tries to slip up. It's like, you know what? I'm an old school guy. I'm old. That's where we shit.
That is
you know
old
what I mean?
school.
Just stay out of there.
But that's old school, checking your prostate.
No, but I'm
And
saying
that's
in a
why so
sex
many-
thing for sex and shit. I don't like. don't fuck
sex.
around back there. That's.
I'm not.
It's dirty. It's not good. It's not good.
No.
Even if it's clean, it's dirty. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Not a fan. Not a fan. I've heard too many stories too. You've heard guys talk about, they're fucking in the ass. They pull it out and they're shit. I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
Why?
I would vomit. I would
Why are we
vomit
talking about this? Why are we
because you
talking
brought
about
it
it?
up
I
with
don't. I don't
fingers
know
in
how the
your
gay
ass.
community does it.
You do. You know how. You just don't want to talk about it. You know damn well how it's done. So you'll be, I'll drop you off at the airport. I'm going to get up early that morning. I got a lot to do. We're going to get the car ready.
You are frozen,
and we're going to hit the road Friday. Don't be jealous. I'm going to be in a car with Kelly and Teddy for 19 hours. So please,
19 hours.
Don't be jealous.
I give it 9 hours before you kick him out, and then I give it 8 hours before she kicks you out.
Well, she'll go with Teddy, so that wouldn't matter. If I kick Teddy out, she's leaving because she wouldn't let Teddy go. So it'll be me, and then I'll turn the car around and go back to Clearwater and have Thanksgiving at Grand Cathedral.
So you're doing the Thanksgiving, and you're also celebrating Christmas.
Yeah,
about a month early because it's Michigan.
She has children. They're grown. They're adults, and they have their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's doing their thing. So last year they were in Clearwater. We did a Christmas party and everything, but they're not coming down this year. So we're gonna do Christmas on the Monday before Thanksgiving, and give the gifts and the whole thing, blah blah blah. And then Thursday's Thanksgiving, and my niece Olivia is coming in Wednesday, busiest travel day of the year. And pick her up at the Detroit Metro Airport. Have you been there lately? It's been
not in a while.
Long time for me. Did you work Detroit as a young road comic? Did you?
A couple times.
Chaplains.
I did the chaplains. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did some colleges.
And it's funny because Kelly's sister, Chris, was a waitress at Chaplains.
Oh.
And we're thinking it really corresponded. I mean, she could have been a waitress at Chaplin's while I was working as a comic at Chaplin's.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Was she single?
Yeah, single at the time. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wow. You really need to be on Patreon, folks.
Oh boy, that was so.
Well, that would be
immature. Yeah.
That would have been a weird coincidence, huh? If I had met Kelly,
if you begged her sister,
and then be just talking, and all of a sudden, like,
as just came up.
Yeah,
was that? We were doing Jello
comedy
shots
condo
off your back.
Condo. Yeah, that's a little incestuous. But yeah, that's weird. But she was there at the time. Did you know? And I think I've mentioned this before. That club had the bowling alley attached to it next door.
Right.
And that's where Jeff Foxworthy wrote his very first You Might Be a Redneck and made billions of dollars because they had a valet parking outside the bowling alley. So he saw that, went on stage at Chaplin and said, you might be a redneck if you valet your car at a bowling alley.
No, and that was the birthplace of it? Yeah.
The crowd went nuts, and he was like, I might be onto something here. And he said he went back to the hotel, and he wrote like 50 of them.
Wow.
And the next night, that's all he was doing those, and it was like,
and then 60 million
from
bucks later.
Middle act, I think it was a middle act at the time, to massive headliner who, I guess he's somewhat retired now, or probably does one corporate a month for $1 million.
He had 2 sitcoms.
Yeah, and the whole blue
development deals.
The blue, what was that called? Blue
collar comedy tour. Blue collar comedy tours sold out.
Yeah. It's funny how these comics now everyone's got to put something together if they're going to do something. Like the 3 people, it's like married, divorced, I have a kid, or whatever it is. There's always got to be a title for it. It can't just be the show comedy.
I did the same thing. We did
whatever. You know what I mean?
We did the 4 sides
3
of
gay
40.
dads, or that kind of thing.
Right.
4 sides of 40. What's that?
4 comedians that turned or in their 40s. One was divorced. One was married with kids. One was single, and I was the newlywed.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? It's broken up.
Oh, I don't remember. When are we talking? When was this? Yeah, a little.
Okay.
When was this? When you're doing 4 sides of 40?
In my New York days,
at least
before
30 years
to
ago, because you guys are Fucking old now.
You're older than me.
No, not by minutes. I never heard of four sides of
A lot
40.
of
I guess
people
that
don't
was
know
the
that you
problem.
and I were born in the same hospital. You were born 5 minutes earlier
That's
than
right.
I was,
Yeah.
and hmm, your
At the
your father knew my mother. Kind of weird.
Cranston Memorial Hospital.
General,
General.
Cranston
Uh-huh.
General.
Cranston General. Yeah, you know, Larry David and Richard Belzer. I mean, not Richard Belzer, Richard Lewis were born in the same hospital and that like a couple hours apart.
Really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, yes.
I
Yes,
did not know
that's
that.
same hospital in Brooklyn, hours apart.
Hmm.
Isn't that wild? And then they met at the Improv in New York and then where the
But
fuck did you grow up? Oh, you know, lifelong
interesting.
friends. Mm-hmm.
My neighbor, Anthony Pisani, grew up in New
Anthony
Jersey.
Pisani,
Yeah,
Jewish
grew
guy.
up in New Jersey with Lewis when his family moved to New Jersey. And they were neighborhood kids and they hung out and they were pals. It's okay. We're back on. We're back on.
He was pals with Richard Lewis.
Yeah, and every time the late Richard Lewis would come to town, Anthony or Tony, my neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
would go hang out with him.
Mm.
And he said Richard was his
Nuts.
neurotic behavior was genuine.
Yeah.
He'd be,
Yeah. Hard
he'd
to
be like,
fake
he goes,
that.
come to the hotel, like the W or something in New York City. He goes, come to the lobby and just hang out, and I'll be down. I'll be down in a few minutes. And he'd come down. And he goes, hey, that's Brad Pitt over there. Okay, uh, um, just pretend you're just talking to me, and I want him to know that I'm here. He'd be, but he wouldn't run up to him and go, hey, Brad Pitt, Richard Lewis. He wouldn't do that.
Right.
It would be like he wanted Brad Pitt to notice him and come to him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He had a lot of issues. I never worked with him per se. I don't know if you did, but comics would open for him and they never met him. He would sit in his
No.
car outside,
And come in
run
like
through the
3 minutes.
kitchen,
Yeah.
get on stage, then back in the car, go to the hotel for an
Yeah.
hour.
Hmm.
So it was like you opened for him, but you never met him, which
I
is
saw him
a
in
little weird.
passing, same thing at the stand up New York on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Richard Lewis is coming in. Richard Lewis is coming in. Shh, Richard Lewis. Hey, how you doing? And then gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's too bad what happened to that club because I've heard like it's really, I think it's part of New York Comedy Club now. They bought it. And there's no acts. I saw it like, you see who's at the cellar or who's there, and then you see it's almost like, an open mic kind of new comic room, I guess. But it was great I loved it in the early mid 90s. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was well, I was living on the Upper West Side at the time, so it became my home club. And then I moved to the Upper East, and then it was the comic strip in Dangerfields. I was just because of the proximity, but I still loved going there.
Yeah.
But they had new owners, so then it was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're bringing in new owners, and I'm bringing in my favorite comedians, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, instead of working there 2 or 3 times a week, every couple of weeks,
Yeah.
you're there like once every 2 months, and it was like, okay, I get it. Changing of the guard.
Yeah, it happens. And Dangerfields now is open again. It's called Rodney's.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who's,
I heard they remodeled the whole place. I don't know. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. Good though, if they did, because I don't place creep me out. It's all dark.
Oh, it was a
red
time
and
capsule from
those
from the
candles.
60s, but it was really a throwback to like the 50s.
Yeah, it just freaked me out in there. I don't know. Because I bombed every time I went in there. I never, although I got past, and then that was the thing when they go, you can come back anytime now and work. And I thought, do I have to? Because this place sucks.
I've had all kinds of shows in there, and I've had like crazy shows where I've done prom shows, which is babysitting.
Yeah.
I've done drunk crowd. I've done a bus pulls up and a bunch of tourists from the Midwest come in. They're like, New York City, and they're laughing at everything. I've had all different kinds of variations of shows there.
That was that's where the joke came when you had an empty crowd and they'd go, Well, the bus will arrive soon and we'll be full because Dangerfields would have actually a bus of tourists and
Tony's
they'd come in and fill it up.
the owner, Tony Bavacqua, not my neighbor Tony Pisani, but Tony Bavacqua. He
Jewish
would
guy.
he would come in late night, you know, make sure the books were okay, nobody was ripping him off.
Yeah.
He would say, well, there's only two people. We're going to cancel the show." He's like, "No, keep going.
Right.
The bus will be here.
That's right. That's
Should be
right.
here in like 10, 15 minutes." Sure enough, bus
Yeah.
pulls up. All of a sudden, so whoever
Yeah.
was coming in to do a set, sometimes it's at midnight. All of a sudden, it's a
Right.
packed crowd.
I just remember always going in there and Ben Creed was always there.
Oh, that was before my time, but
It
Ben did start coming around again.
it was always this is 92,
Yeah.
92, 93. Ben Creed always he lived there. I mean he
Yeah.
lived there
That
literally.
was his,
And
he lived
who were the
upstairs, right?
Nancy Redman,
Yep.
she was always there. There were a
Mhm.
couple that just no matter what time you had a spot, no matter what, there they were.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
think
do you guys
Nancy
do any
Redman,
other
I don't know if
clubs?
she was ever performed at any of the other clubs ever, or maybe once or
Oh,
auditioned or
yeah.
something, but that was her
Comics.
home club. She was the
Yeah,
home club MC.
right.
And when she left there after many years, probably like 20 plus years, she ended up doing a one woman show and she got some accolades
Yeah.
and some awards. Mm.
I worked she did work at another club because I went to the Tree House, one of my early
Oh, on
gigs.
the road. Okay, yeah.
On the
Mhm.
road, and I think I told you this. She was I walk in, I go, "Hey, Nancy," and she goes, "Oh, hi," and she had two brown shopping bags, and I said, "I go, you go buying food," and it was her clothes. She didn't have luggage for the weekend. She had her clothes in two brown shopping bags. Would look like she just come from Publix.
Not a road
And
comic.
no, she didn't have a lot of experience on the road.
She had a tiny
Took the train,
apartment and didn't want to didn't have the room for the luggage. Took the
Yeah, it was
train.
classic New York. Took the train and then was very like we were in the treehouse. I remember the green room, and she just seemed like really out of her element. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't like people. She just seemed whacked
Very
for
sweet,
me.
very
Yeah, it's
sweet person.
very nice.
But I think her being the house MC for so many years at Dangerfields was her gig
hmm
until she did her one person show. But
hmm I didn't know
I,
about the one. I'm glad she's still around and in it. That's good. I'm
yeah,
glad.
you
Oh,
can catch
good.
her on some social media. Yeah, she did well with her one person show. So there you
You
go.
remember there was another woman around that time too. Her name was remember Henriette Henriette something.
Mantell.
Henriette Mantel.
Yes.
Yes.
She
I
went
used to
on to
like it.
play Alice in the reboot
That's
of the
right.
Brady Bunch, and she did well
That's
with
right.
that. She eked that. I think she did two movies or something.
Yeah, yeah. I thought she was funny. And
Very funny.
her opening, because she was very, plain looking. She was very plain and little frumpy and just whatever. But her and she'd have no makeup at all. And
Hmm.
then she'd open with, "How you doing? I got all gussied up for you tonight." And she's like toppers looking at these dumb Brooklyn women with big hair and
Yeah.
eyelashes and makeup. And she's like, "I got all gussied up."
She looked like a farmer's daughter, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
But not the
Yeah.
not the fantasy farmer's daughter, but
No, not
the
the
plain
one.
Jane.
My
That was
name's
her
Chuck
thing.
and
She
I'm
goes,
here to. Yeah,
yeah.
not that one. Yeah, she was funny. But that she was another one, Dangerfields. A lot of always saw her at Dangerfields. I had another question for you. I have a question for you, sir. How about that?
Mhm.
We've had this week a lot of people coming back to our shows, a lot of repeat,
Ugh.
and they let us know, and they're coming back and blah blah blah. So a lot of repeat, and we're supposed to do the same show because if the room holds 200, you do the same show every night, so everyone gets a chance to see it, and nobody's like, "Oh, I like that bit the guy did," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't see that." But we're supposed to do the same show. People don't understand that, but that is what we're
6,500
told.
passengers, 200 a night. And then
Yeah,
the final show in the theater,
yeah,
you'll get like 1,100 and you do a different show for that. But
right. but we're told to do the same material. But you see the same people, and they're letting you know he's on you last night. What do you do in that sitch? Do you
I'd rather
change it
not
up,
know.
or do you right? But if you do know, or if you recognize them, even go on. Those two couples were
Sometimes I
here last
address,
night,
I go, were you guys here the other night? Yeah, we love it. I go, this is the same show until we get to the theater, right? And
right?
they're
But do
like,
you
we don't care. We just, and that's nice,
right?
but it throws you off. And then when they sit in front
Right? They all
and they
sit in
come
front.
back and they sit in front again, especially like
That's right.
the genie people, the people that
Right.
staying in the
That's what I'm
suites.
talking about. You recognize them.
All of a sudden, you see the genie seats. They have these things draped over them called genie,
Yeah,
meaning
like
they
a
have
butler.
reserved.
Yeah,
And
people
it's the
don't know.
same people. And I'm like, this is the same show
Right.
in the theater. And they go, we don't care. We love it.
Right. But do
So
you change?
it's a little easier when you acknowledge it and they say, no, we don't care. We just want to see you guys. You guys are great. So sometimes I go, did I do this? Did I do this bit? They go, no. I go, all right, I'm doing it now. And so I do switch it up sometimes, or sometimes I just put the blinders on and go. But it's not,
Right.
it's
Because it's
a,
not really. It's so dumb. I mean, It's the only entertainment. Like people go see The Wizard of Oz on Icon. If they go back again, it's not different songs. It's the same songs. They're not.
Mhm.
They're not expecting it to be different songs. Somehow, comedy they expect a different show each time they walk in there. And I'm just like, because some comics do, I don't care, and they just do their act. But in my head, I always feel like I have to do different stuff.
I
But
get in my head a little
there's
bit.
200 people though. Why am I changing up my shit for 4 or 5 people? It
That
doesn't
same
make any
thing here.
sense.
But it's if they sit in the back somewhere, I'm unaware.
Then I don't know,
It's
and it's
when they
good.
come back, they're sitting in the front row, the same
Right.
people, the
Yeah.
guy, his wife, his daughter, their cousins. It's like,
And the
are they?
repeat people seem to always sit in the front. They
I,
come back and take, or I've had them where they tell me later, we were in the back and we wanted to see it in the front now, and maybe be part of it, with a little crowd work in the front row. They want that. But it's like, you've
but
heard it. It's a
then they
magic
can,
trick.
then
It's a
they,
magic trick.
yeah,
You
and
know the ending.
yeah, and sometimes they try to participate this time.
Those are the ones I never call. I never do crowd work to anyone who dresses weird or wants to be in it. I don't want
Mm.
that. You know what I mean?
The guy wearing the
But
captain hat, sitting in the front row, white captain hat.
yeah, I'm not talking to him.
Yeah.
No, unless I'm bombing, then I talk to him all night. You know what I mean?
Then we hang out.
Yeah, then of course, so fucking all the rules go out the window. I had a lady bring me an old fashioned the other night. Yeah, backstage. She and her
Wow.
husband saw us the first night, liked us, and then saw us and said, "What do you guys drink? I'd like to get you a drink." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like old fashioned." Simeon, he wasn't drinking, so he's like, "Oh, I don't care, coffee, tea." And then she comes back the next night and delivers it to us backstage. It was like,
She
super
delivered it
nice. She
her,
delivered it. She went to the bar and got my, she has
wow.
the drink package and she got the old fashioned, brought it back to me, and I was like, seriously? Wow, thank you. And it was great. So sipped an old fashioned while Simeon went up and crushed. And then,
Oh, you had to
you
follow
know,
Trump,
oh yeah.
and he's got another 4 years of
He's got
that
another
now.
4 years of
A
that.
new lease on his act life.
That's right. And when it ends, they're like, more, more. And he's like, no, I'm done. But we have more comedy. Like, we don't want more. We want you to stay up there. No, this guy's good. Boo, he sucks. It's a lot of fun. It's a
And
lot
you
of
guys
fun.
switch the order up all the time, right?
Well, this week we've kept it. He likes to open. He likes to host, and I like to close. But I don't really like opening, to be honest. I don't like. I feel
That's a
like I'm
tough
not
room to
that,
open,
and I don't feel like
but
I'm
I don't
that.
want to follow Trump.
I'm not a friendly hosty guy in my comedy type thing.
Mm.
So I always feel like they're a little bit like, whoa. Where if I come out second, they're more open to me saying that, whatever I say. So
I had to follow Simeon a couple of times doing Trump, and it was one of the worst things that's happened to me in my comedy career. I was in a fetal position in the green room. He got a standing ovation, two standing ovations back to back. And
yeah.
now this
Yeah.
guy. It's like
Here's
people were heckling me as I'm being introduced. No, same thing. No, no, we don't want to.
yeah.
No, one guy went, good luck.
Ah,
I
jeez.
didn't even
Yeah.
say anything.
I've been doing this since January, so I'm just numb to it. And but this, because after the election, they were all the Trump people know so excited that when he starts it, they go insane. So I might open
This
a
is
couple
where I
shows
was
tonight
in
because maybe I'll open a couple
2016,
tonight.
2017 when he was doing it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when I had to follow it.
It's unbelievable though to have that. Like you could be, he's like a guitar act where you could be doing like okay for 10 minutes, nothing really special. Knowing though, I got this in my back pocket. I'm gonna kill. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't even matter. You can just do whatever you
I'm going to
want.
do a song parody and it's going
Right.
to rock the
It's gonna.
room.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Like you see those guys with a guitar leaning in the back, and they're kind of bombing, but oh, you'll be fine.
Mhm.
You'll be fine. Here it comes. So you don't. So did you answer my question or not? Do you change the material for 3 or 4 people, or do you? Because you said you
I've done
comment
both.
on it, but you do
I
change it.
thought I do it. It's a psychological thing to give myself a free pass. Why do you keep coming back? Because we love you. We do the candle bit. Sometimes they'll say, "Do the can." I brought her back because I told her about the candle bit. Do the
Yeah,
candle bit.
I
So it
did
kind of
that
gives
this week. It
me.
worked well.
I
Candle bit.
know, dude. Your restless leg bit is
Well, that's good.
destroying.
Well, whatever we got to do to survive out here, you got to do it. It's the Wild
So
West out here.
it depends on the situation and depends on how much I'm in my head. With that said, this particular show, Ship, last week, I had to do 6 shows, and the same people just kept coming in the theater. So I'm
Mm.
I'm performing for 600 to 900 people, and I'm like, the cruise director was not telling them that it was
Oh
a
no.
encore
Was it
performance.
written in the
It says
compass
Family
or
Show
whatever?
1 and Family Show 2,
Ooh,
and I'm
no,
like,
no,
and
no.
I'm
I
like,
say encore performance, repeat performance.
I said, dude, did you mention to them? He goes, well, I mentioned it this morning
He
on my talk
no, this
show.
guy
I'm like,
sucks.
he goes, I'll mention it now. I'm like, well, they're already here. So
Well, he could have walked on stage before he introduced you, go, and just so everyone knows, this is an encore
he
performance
did.
of what he did last night.
Yeah.
Got to say something, or else you just look dumb.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I'm doing 90 minutes and I'm telling you right now, I got it down, but it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
fucking
get it.
it's
I get it,
stressful to
man.
do 90 minutes of
Yeah.
different material that's
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not Bill Burr coming up with a new hour every year, you know? It's like
Did you see Bill's SNL monologue?
I did.
What
He's
was
been
your take on that?
I didn't think it was bad as what everybody was saying. People calling him a Trumpy. I used to like his comedy, but not anymore. He's a Trumpy. I'm like,
Oh
you're
no,
gonna
I didn't go that way. I just didn't think it was
uh,
very good.
you're gonna politicize it now, and
Yeah.
he addressed it. You
Mm.
know, it was no. He said, "All right, let's talk about it." You know, you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't know.
just
It
I
wasn't
didn't
groundbreaking. It wasn't. You
I didn't
know,
think it was any good at all, but whatever, who cares? But I was, for a monologue,
he was doing
whereas
stand up.
yeah, yeah.
He seemed
Yeah,
he seemed more comfortable this time than the first time.
right.
More
It was a
confident.
weird I thought it was a weird choice after the election because the
Well,
crowd was
Chappelle did it twice.
the crowd was weird. They weren't going with it too much, and it just seemed like an odd choice to have him. I don't know who you'd have, but
Well, I'm saying is Chappelle did it twice
yeah,
and addressed it and
right,
made it funny by him going,
right.
Trump said it's all rigged. He goes, there, it's a game. He goes, I know how to play the game. And he went back in the fucking house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Yeah,
mean, the way he handled that, because everybody was very uncomfortable with it. It is amazing that it was a red wave and the
yeah.
Democrats were surprised by that.
Would you call it a landslide?
I don't know what the definition is, but the red wave did, if you look at the
Well,
map,
I get the red wave thing, but because I made a bet with a friend who you may be meeting, or you will be meeting, in Clearwater, and he said it was going to be a landslide for Trump, and I said, "Well, it won't be a landslide." So we bet $100, but it was a mandate, but a landslide. I went to bed at 1 a.m. and they still didn't call it. That's not a landslide. You know what I mean? Like when Reagan beat Mondale, they were calling that at 8 p.m. Mondale
yeah,
won one
yeah,
state. I think he might have won one state, his own state.
yeah. I mean,
That's a landslide.
she had
She
over
got
200 electoral votes. So if she
Right.
had 170,
Right.
yeah, but she got like two and a quarter. They were dragging it out, like California.
Well,
California
it
is like
was all
four
you could
states and
tell he
one.
was going to win. You could
Yeah,
tell.
well,
It
that's what I'm
was
saying. I could tell because my phone was blowing up with
mhm.
texts and emails saying, "We need your help. Volunteer.
Yeah.
You got to stop this." And it's like,
I
oh,
didn't mean to send all those.
yeah. What
It
I'm
was
saying
tricky.
was the Democrats were sending me all this information. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
You guys are so
Some people don't
desperate.
know when it's over.
And
Um,
I would see on my feed, and I see a lot of Trump,
yeah.
videos and whatnot,
Yeah.
but not nearly as many as Kamala Harris and Waltz. And it was like really super desperate. And
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah.
Biden, everybody was relieved that Biden backed out, but some said he should have backed out 6 months or a year ago.
I don't think it
And
would have mattered.
what I'm saying is they would, I was questioning his abilities 2 years ago.
We all were. And they knew it.
And
Everyone
my
knew it.
and my friends, I told you, in the backyard of a house, were like all over me. You're a Trumpy. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? I'm
Yeah.
expressing my concerns
Well,
from someone
if
that
you mention
I.
anything, people lose their shit either way. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
But well, yeah. Anyway, so you wouldn't call it a landslide.
I don't know
Just
what the definition of it is.
just back me up on this. You wouldn't call it a landslide.
No, I haven't heard the word landslide. Have you?
No, no one has said it, right?
Right.
It's a
So then,
mandate, but not a landslide. I have not heard anyone say landslide. So
now
I win
California,
$100. That's my point.
Trump won nearly 40%, something like 38 point something, 39.2, which is huge because it usually goes 70-30, 70, 73-27 Democrat. But to get 40% of California was big. And Arizona,
Yeah.
Arizona went back to Republican after being Democrat. People go, how did Arizona become Democrat? Well, real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate blew up and quadrupled in California. Don't worry about it. Blew up in California, and
Right.
all those people moved to Arizona.
I can't hear you, man. So I don't know what
It's
you're
okay.
saying.
It's okay. I'm making a point. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
A comedy point.
All right. I'm going to mute your track and just do this. Anyways,
I can't hear you.
my theory is it has to do with
Okay.
real estate.
Continue
Real
speaking.
estate completely exploded, and people sold their $300,000 home for 1.2 million and then moved to Arizona and bought a big place for cash and had a big lump of money left over. That's it. Want to wrap it up?
Peace.
So long, man. Have a good trip.
Iceberg, dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Two Owls, One Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.